How is your relationship with your partner like? Do you have a partner that appreciates you, or do you have a partner that makes you question your worth in that relationship because of the words he says to you? Words are very powerful in relationship. They can either build the relationship or break the relationship.
Ladies, pay attention because this one's for you. A man who calls you his baby means nothing. A man who says he loves you means nothing. A man who calls you his woman means nothing. A man who gives you a child means nothing. And this one's going to ruffle a few feathers, but I'm going to say it anyway. A man who puts a ring on your finger and calls you his wife means nothing at all. Do you want to know what means something? A man who shows you love, loyalty and respect consistently through his actions and not just his words. That means something. Because you see, actions and patterns, they don't lie.
He will give you signals that you're not the one. He always tells you you're not the one. The problem is you don't want to listen to it because you don't want to believe your mind, you want to believe your heart. Because you want it to work so desperately, when the red flags come up, you ignore them.
Ladies, if you got to ask to be a priority in that man's life, you with the wrong man. Because the thing about a man, like when we really like you, we will carve out a space for you in our life if we feel like you are important because we don't want to lose you. That man is going to make sure that I'm taking you on dates. That man is going to make sure to pay attention to what it is that you value and, you know, find ways to implement that, whether it be cards or gifts or notes or just intimate things, just to make sure that you feel valued, regardless of what it is that he got going. He could be one of the busiest dudes in the world, but you will be a priority. There will be no confusion. There will be no mistaking it. That man really values me. That will be the feeling. But if you run around a situation like not sure, or I think he does. He shows me sometimes, but like once those thoughts come in, the writing is on the wall. That lets you know that that man does not prioritize you like that, and you need to go find a man who does.
Hello fam, how you all doing? Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Thank you. Today's topic is your man may be using you if he's constantly using these words on you. It's really hard to tell the hearts of men. Even the Bible says the heart of a man is evil and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Some men are good at putting up performance. Some men are good at pretending, which makes it hard for women to tell if a man truly loves them. Some men have sweet mouth. They are good at using words. Talk is cheap. Anyone can say anything. The differentiating factor is the action. The man that is willing to make that effort and bring those words to fruition.
When a man tells you that he loves you, ladies, I want you to listen with your eyes, not your ears. Men will tell you anything they believe that you want to hear to get a reaction from you that will ultimately benefit and serve them. And so instead of you listening to what men say, pay attention to what men do. That's why I say listen with your eyes. If he tells you that he loves you, accept it. But I want you to observe his actions. Do his actions prove to you that he loves you? Is he consistent with his affection? Is he consistent with his loyalty? Is he consistent with his communication? Is he demonstrating his love for you in ways that nurture the woman in you, that nurture your emotions, that nurture your needs? You see, a lot of people will talk the talk, but when a man says that he loves you, he also needs to walk the walk. So again, pay attention with your eyes, because a man can say anything to get you to do what he wants you to do. But it's your job to make sure that he's actually putting forth the effort and attaching action to his words.
Let us check into the subtle yet damaging phrases that might indicate that your man might be using you. These words can affect your sense of worth, your self-esteem, your emotional well-being, your confidence, and it can also make you uncomfortable in that relationship. It's imperative for you to recognize these words because it's the first step towards you understanding the situation and protecting yourself.
I can't even believe I'm going to say this right now, but here are things my manipulative ex-boyfriend used to do that I thought were normal. He would tell me that he was short on rent money. I would help him time and time again. But whenever I said no, not this time, he would tell me that whatever he had to do to get the money, illegal or not, cheating or not, that it was my fault for not helping him. He would change the password to his phone every week, and when I would ask him about it, he would tell me that I just remembered it wrong. He would ask me for gas money because he was driving to my place when it was 15 minutes. Anytime I would bail on plans or have to move them, he would tell me days later that he had some elaborate surprise planned, so romantic, so sweet of him, but I never got to see it because I didn't show up. But yet every time I did show up, there was never anything planned. He would go to restaurants with me because he said he wanted to go on dates, right? We would get there, I would order my food, and he would say, oh, I'm actually not gonna get anything, I'm not hungry. And there would be a long pause, and I would be like, do you just not have money? And he'd be like, yeah, but it's fine. So then I would feel bad and buy him food. And lastly, this one is literally insane. This was after we broke up, but it had been like 2 months, not even. He owed me money, like a few $100s. And he called me out of the blue from a random number to say that he couldn't pay me back, but that I didn't need the money anyway. And then told me he was engaged. What on earth? My standards were low, okay?
Erica.
Mm-hmm. What?
Did you take my name off the credit cards?
I did. You spending too much money on my card.
Erica, please don't tell. You know I got to go to this funeral tomorrow. The funeral's tomorrow. I'm trying to book a flight, and everything's denied. And I'm like, what is going on? Why would you do that without telling me?
I didn't think I needed to tell you that I'm taking your name off my card. It's my money. Once you get you some money and you're able to put it in the account, then you can go home however many times. I understand you got a funeral to go to, but that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Erica, let's be clear. I'm not going for some boys' trip. I'm going for my mama's funeral. I told you what this was about. And first of all, the fact that you didn't want to go with me, that causes... Hey, man, put my name back on the cards.
No, you're not going to be spending my money. If your mama's funeral that important, drive. Just drive. You'll get there in time to make it tomorrow.
Erica.
Anyone can use these words, but when a man constantly uses these words, that's where the problem is. Has your man ever told you that you were overreacting when you tried expressing your discomfort towards something he did? Did he dismiss your feelings? Did he try to invalidate your feelings? That just may be a sign if this is something he does on the regular.
Let me give you an example of how a man dismissed my feelings today. I had a 9 a.m. dermatology appointment to which I had to arrive for by 8:45. And then I didn't even get called back until 9:30. I had a call at 10. So they take me back. No apologies about the wait time. Nobody mentioned it whatsoever. And the nurse was like, okay, just strip down to what you're comfortable with. The doctor will be in shortly. He didn't come in until 9:50. I waited there for 20 more minutes for him. So when he came in, I was short and I was curt because I was pissed. And he's like, hey, how are you? And I was like, fine. He's like, anything you want me to look at closely? I said, no. And he goes, okay, I'll stop talking. I have a wife, so I know that look. I said, I had an appointment at 9. It is 9:50. I have a call at 10. So he was like, yeah, the parade really messed things up. It's been a really busy morning around here. I was like, your front desk could have let me know that. Hey, the doctor is running XYZ amount of time behind. Would you like to reschedule? Or even just an acknowledgement or like, I'm sorry that you waited that long. But instead he chose to completely invalidate my feelings as a woman in particular. Oh, okay, I'll stop talking. I have a wife. I've seen that look. Not only was it completely unprofessional, it just made my experience that much worse.
The first thing a man will say if he is using you is, if you loved me, you would, ... If a man is using you, he will try to manipulate you into doing what he wants by claiming that you don't love him enough and that you need to prove your love by doing something. He may also try to guilt you into doing something by implying that you owe him something or that you're not appreciating his efforts. Psychologically, this behavior is a form of emotional manipulation as it uses guilt and fear tactics to make you feel obligated to meet the person's demands. 3 other examples of what this could look like are: number 1, if you loved me, you'd let me do this. Number 2, if you love me, you'd do what I am asking you. Number 3, if you love me, you'd give me another chance. If a man is using you, he will say this. So if you come to him with a complaint or something isn't working in your life or in your relationship, and you tell him about that, you tell him about your frustrations, and he says, "You got this," meaning like you can handle it, and not offering to help or wanting to provide more empathy, understanding of your situation, then that's a sign he's probably using you, because it shows he's not really invested in you. He's not really invested in the relationship. He wants to get out of responsibility, and your stuff is your stuff, my stuff is my stuff, and he doesn't really want to explore that or go into it in a deep way with you. Now, if you'd like to discover a powerful psychological trigger to make any man desire, even obsess over you, click on my bio, follow us, and click on the link in there to get that.
Has your partner ever told you you're too sensitive? That word can invalidate your emotions and always make you feel like you are in the wrong. If he did hurt you and you approached him, letting him know that his action hurts you and made you feel some certain type of way, and he responded saying you're too sensitive, he just might not be interested in you or the relationship if this is the regular behavior he exhibits.
Shit narcissists say, translated into English, you are way too sensitive.
You called me out on my shit, or reacted to my abuse. I won't take accountability because my ego is more important than how you feel. If I tell you that you're too sensitive, it will make you think the way I treat you is normal, and that you're overreacting. This way, you'll feel worse about yourself and I can keep abusing you.
The more you know.
Ever been told that you're too sensitive? If so, keep this in mind. When someone labels you as too sensitive, it's usually because your healthy, normal emotions make them uncomfortable, and they don't know how to handle it. So maybe you felt hurt when a friend let you down, or you got upset when someone crossed your boundaries. Those are valid, reasonable responses. But some people, instead of acknowledging their own role in the situation, they might try to shift the blame onto you by calling you too sensitive. This tactic shuts down the conversation, denies their responsibility, and invalidates you. Basically, if someone says you're too sensitive, it's a sign that they may be insensitive, inconsiderate, and indifferent to your feelings. Emotions are just reactions to situations, not character flaws. Feeling deeply and standing up for yourself doesn't make you too sensitive, it makes you authentic. And that is a strength, not a weakness.
What to say when somebody tells you you're too sensitive? Number one, accept it and stand your ground. You can say something like, "You're right, I am sensitive because I'm sensing you're dismissing my feelings." What you're saying is this deflection tactic, it's not going unnoticed. Number two, acknowledge it and set up a boundary. You can say something like, "Well, maybe I am, but that doesn't validate your feelings any more than it does mine." What you're saying is, my feelings are just as important as yours. You don't get to tell me what hurts. And number three, ignore it. Don't take it personally. If somebody says you're being too sensitive, just say, "Well, thank you," and keep on talking as if they just gave you a compliment, because in many ways, it really is. So try that and follow me.
Has he ever told you that no one wants you, that he's doing you a favor? This is a tactic that some men use to make their women lower their standard and get stuck with them. It's just a situation of they don't like you that much, they don't want to lose you, they don't want other men to have you, and they want to keep you.
This is what toxic men say. Just because I don't want you, don't mean I want somebody else to have you. And this is that possessiveness that certain men have. Certain men that want their cake and eat it too, they don't want you for real. They just don't want nobody to have you. And anytime they see somebody getting close to playing with their collectible, now they get jealous. Now they show you just enough attention to make you think that they're interested so that you drop all those other people in your life. Just want to keep you single. Because if you single, now you got time to mingle with them on Tuesday. Now when they call, you drop everything and you give them a little kitty cat. So of course I'm possessive over you. But possessive over what? It's not that I'm possessive over your heart and your mind and the fact that I want you in a monogamous relationship. I'm possessive over the fact that if another man gives you what you are asking for, you'll no longer give me the benefits of the relationship without the relationship.
Other phrases that men use in relationships that might indicate that this man might not be interested in you includes "you're crazy," "you're so lucky to have me," "let's keep things casual." Let's hear other men discuss this topic when men are using women in a relationship.
Ladies, there are 3 signs he's taking advantage of you. Number one, he never actually makes plans with you, but he's guaranteed to hit you back up the moment you decide to cut him out. The moment you decide to go silent, that's when he comes back around. He's just looking for validation. He doesn't like you, but he likes the fact that you like him. Number two, when you do get to see each other, you very rarely go on actual dates. Most of the time, it's at his house or yours. Number three, he very quickly and voluntarily told you that he is not looking or not ready for a relationship, yet he's more than happy to continue seeing you and do all of these relationship things anyway.
You are hearing it from the source, hearing it from a guy who's been in the dating game for a minute. If you go to your guy that you're seeing and you ask him, what are we? Are we anything more? Do you see me as a girlfriend, a partner, something more than what this currently is? And they can't answer you? That is your answer. And that answer is no. I don't like you enough. I still want to play the game. I still want to keep you in a gray area, and I still want my cake and eat it too. I want you to be my rent-a-girlfriend while I get to do whatever I want on the side. That's what it means.
Here's 5 signs that he's using you. Sign number 1, lack of genuine interest. They don't seem interested in your life at all. They will only engage with you when they can benefit from it. Sign number 2, manipulative behavior. They will always manipulate your emotions, guilt trip you to get what they want, and don't consider your well-being. Sign number 3, one-sided efforts. You're the one putting in most of the effort in the relationship. You always text first, plan dates, and make sacrifices while they do nothing at all. Sign number 4, disregard for boundaries. They consistently ignore your boundaries, pressure you into things that you are uncomfortable with, and don't respect your consent. Sign number 5, inconsistent behavior. They are not a man of their words. They make promises that they don't keep, and their behavior is unpredictable. It feels like they're not genuinely committed into the relationship and only interested in temporary satisfaction or personal gain. Remember, if you feel undervalued or taken advantage of, trust your instincts and follow me for healthier relationships.
Here's 5 signs he's using you. I know you've been dreading this, but you need to hear this, okay? First of all, conversations usually end up being sensual. Secondly, he only messages you when it's late and he's bored. Third thing is, he only cares when he feels you can give him something. Number 4, he constantly airs you. And lastly, number 5, he only responds quickly when he wants something, like nudes.
Ladies, I'm gonna put y'all on game. If a man ever tells you that he was going through something, and you start noticing that his texts get slower and he's barely communicating with you and all that stuff, and you feel like you're the only one that's putting your energy into him, do not believe him at all. Because what I'm going to tell you, what he's actually going through, it is not family problems or anything, or school or work. He's going through girl problems, and he is leading you on. He doesn't want you to leave. He wants you to sit around and look absolutely crazy, like literally delulu, to see if his relationship with her works out. And at that point, you become the placeholder. He's not going through anything but girl problems. He wants to put you on the bench, literally make you wait on hold until he figures out if him and her are going to work. And if they don't work out, look who he's going to come running back to. You. But y'all stay safe though.
We are done hearing from men. Let's hear women share their experience of dating a man that was using them.
Hey guys, I'm on my lunch break at work, but I wanted to talk about manipulation. So I obviously had traumatic trust issues from my narcissist, and I didn't believe a word this man said. It would be to the point where he lied so much and manipulated me so much that if he said the sky was blue, I would have to look out the window and check. And he would always make me feel crazy for not trusting him, and then literally very, very quickly would show me exactly why I didn't trust him and prove it that I couldn't trust him. It was a never-ending cycle, but one of the million times that we got back together, I told him, I don't want to do this anymore, so you need to reshare your location. Something that we've done our whole relationship, but all of a sudden stopped doing when he just decided to go apeshit and keep cheating. Immediately when I brought it up, he got super defensive and was like, no, we don't need to do that. I want to earn your trust back. You need to trust me. I'm going to earn your trust back organically. We don't need to share locations because I'm going to tell you the truth. We argued for an hour and a half about it. He broke me down so bad in the argument and manipulated me so much that I actually believed that this man wanted to really do the right thing. So I said, fine, whatever, because I knew I wasn't going to get anywhere anyway, and I was just done arguing about it, and he was just making it such a big deal. Couple days later, so let's just say that was a Monday, it's Wednesday now. Now, mind you, he told me if I want to know where he is, he will answer the phone at all times and FaceTime me and prove to me where he is. He's going to be telling me the truth. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So this Wednesday, 2 days later after he argued with me about sharing his location and that he's going to tell me the truth, he tells me he's going to go to his mom's house to play video games with his little brother, something that he usually does. I had no reason not to believe him because whatever. The moment he left the house, I had a bad gut feeling. I already knew he was up to some bullshit because he was acting weird. Men usually tell on themselves before they do some bullshit. Hours go by, I have an attitude. I already knew he did some bullshit tonight because he got home super late. When he got home, I checked that phone. No recent calls, no recent text. It's like he never touched his phone for hours. That doesn't make sense. This man is always on his phone. But he convinced me that I was crazy for checking his phone and not believing him. And you see, I'm telling the truth. You see, I'm telling the truth. So then I go to close the apps and I see that maps are open. Mind you, his mom lives just up the road. He knows that by heart. He grew up in the area. It's nothing unfamiliar. Nothing you would need a map for. When I looked at the map, you know the route he came from? He wasn't at his mom's house. He was in New York City at the person's house or in the person's area that he's been cheating on me with. When I presented him with the proof, he tried to lie, but obviously you can't lie about where the route you just took, the GPS guidance that you just took from Tribeca, New York to Jersey City, New Jersey. After a 7-hour argument, me crying, breaking down, hyperventilating, anxiety, he starts to get nasty because he knows he's losing. He starts bringing up stuff from the past that's irrelevant, that has nothing to do with anything. He tried to gaslight me, whatever, and then finally wants to apologize. And tells me that he will tell me the truth tomorrow, but he doesn't feel like telling me the truth tonight. After arguing that he doesn't need to share his location and that I can trust him. Manipulation 101.
If a man truly loves you, he will solve your life problems. Not know, oh, that sucks. He will get up and he will say, what do you want? What do you need? How can we fix it?
This is literally the only truth when it comes to men. Story time. My friend the baker was just getting her hair braided, and you know how that's an all day and all night affair, and she got really hungry while she was in the chair. So much so she was even texting me about it, like, what should I do? Because she's really like non-confrontational. I was like, if it were me, I would order Uber Eats to the chair, but that's just me. I said, maybe you should just ask them for a break. And she gets a break and she gets a little something from down the street, but she didn't want to take long and whatnot. She didn't want to eat in their chair. So consequently, she was still hungry. Before she could even move around, her boyfriend had come to the place with a cooler full of snacks and an extra tip for her to give the people because he knows she gets anxious about being a bother. But wait, you haven't even heard the best part yet. These weren't just any snacks. My friend is on a cut. He brought her macro-friendly snacks and all her favorite drinks, including Diet Coke. You know, my girl's a Diet Coke addict. This is what it will look like. The guy will always be solving your problems, most times under his own steam. If he actually cares about you, he's going to know what the solution is. He's not going to put the emotional labor of finding a solution or whatever on you. He is going to have solutions at the ready that are tailored specifically to you because he knows you and it cares about you that much. He's been paying attention. If this sounds unfamiliar, he's not the one, okay? You can do better. You want a guy who notices all those little things because who he starts out as is who he will end up as. I have the best father in the world, and whenever I go out with my family, he always knows to order me hot water with lemon because I don't drink cold water. He knows I only eat the wings of the chicken. He knows that my sisters hate mayo. My youngest sister hates waffles. I know it's weird, but it's true. The middle girl hates raisins. They both like barbecue sauce. I only like honey mustard and Chick-fil-A sauce. Why does my dad keep a running tab of all of those little picadillos and more in his head? Because my mom is like that. That's where we get it from. And he got used to catering to her and whatnot when they were dating, and he's never stopped, and now he does it for all of his girls. Get you one like that. Like and follow for more.
Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you would love to watch a video of men exposing other men that hate their women, click this video here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.